Hello everyone and welcome to episode 148 of the TEW 2020 New Japan Pro Wrestling series here on the channel, as it is the Royal Quest Tour, which as far as we're going to have our Road 2 shows and then the final show, but this is a new era of New Japan Pro Wrestling as far as in the save. Tanahashi, not the president anymore. The man who is in charge is yet to be revealed, as Sanada and company have not officially revealed it, as that will be revealed in the main event of their show, as far as he will be the special guest referee for that main event heavyweight title matchup between Sanada and Tyler Black. But this card was built by him, and as far as put together by him. So as far as from that perspective, it's a bit of a build-up into, as far as their special show, as far as it's going to be called the crowning of the rightful champion, as far as with that, as far as a Sanada wrestling production presents, as far as with the full title, a rightful champion will be crowned. And as far as for this show, the Royal Quest, the main event, Juice Robinson and Jon Moxley for the Intercontinental title, and for the IWGP US title, Pac versus Jay White. So we have, as far as with Moxley, of course, was a part of that Ultimate Warfare matchup, the New Japan Ultimate Warfare matchup, as saw Juice Robinson get fucking Death Rider off the stage through some tables. And he gets his chance for some revenge, thanks to the man in charge, as this is not only just a regular Intercontinental title matchup, now this is a hardcore title matchup with, as far as we'll see if Juice can beat Jon Moxley there in the main event. Co-main event, though, Pac versus Jay White. Again, as far as for Jay White, looking to beat Pac, as far as, it seems like right now, as far as the booking philosophy of this new man in charge is to make sure that the Designers of Perfection group, as far as with the Kingdom of Torture and Peace, Love, and War, to get them in the showcase of all the major matches, as you see with also the Never Openweight title matchup with Showtime Tanaka taking on Rey Fenix. So a lot of Task Force Death versus the mega group there of that group. But for the Never Openweight 6-man tag team titles are also on the line, as the Monsters U, which would be the Great O'Khan, Donovan Dijak, and Levi Mir taking on United Empire of course, the champs, Zack Sabre Jr., Walter, and Lee Moriarty. As the New Japan Strong Women's Tag Team titles are also on the line, as Kairi Hojo and Io Shirai taking on the Four Horsewomen of Becky Knockout Quinn and Toni Storm. 8-man tag here between Suzuki Gun and Dragon's Den. That's going to be Shito Ashino, Jazz Gable, Claudio Castagnoli, and I believe it's going to be Takanori Ito. It might actually be Dominic Rini. I'm forgetting now the fourth guy, but I'm pretty sure that's that. And then for the four Dragon's Den members, it is Hayato Tamura, Kyle O'Reilly, Daniel Garcia, and, of course, as far as Roderick Strong, it's going to be a nice little 8-man in that one. As far as House of Black and Designs of Perfection, this is also an 8-man matchup, but this is a little bit different as far as this is kind of more of a junior heavyweight 8-man. As House of Black, it's going to be Shane Strickland, Top Flight, and Christian Casanova taking on the newest member in the turncoat of House of Black in Robbie Eagles with the Velocities and Logan McQueen. So as far as that's going to be a fun little 8-man. And then the opening contest, though. Diamond K versus Kingdom of Torture. Cody Yamada and Konosuke Takeshita taking on King Devin and Shinsuke Nakamura. Hell, I mean, if this happened a couple of years ago, this is the main event, or in the higher echelon of the card. But here, it's going to be the opening contest. That's mainly because of Devitt and Nakamura's ratings in that one. But yeah, I mean, as far as for the card, 8 matches, majority of them being title matches. This is also going to be the first time that we host Royal Quest in Scotland. I figured it was time to run a show over there, so that's going to be fun. I think a lot of the Road 2 shows eventually, though, I don't think they're going to be in Scotland. I think it's going to be more in London. Maybe have one in London, one in Ireland, and then go to Scotland, because I just feel like that's the best way to cover all the bases here. As we have a backstage incident here with Satoshi Kojima How's it going, microphone work to Hayato Tamura? As we do get to have a team from Rev Pro, Chris Ridgway and Mike Bailey, which I always wanted to bring in Chris Ridgway. He probably would have been a United Empire guy. Just as far as never really put it together. But he was definitely somebody always kind of on the list of potential guys to bring in. But him and Mike Bailey here teaming up to take on Hashimoto and Fujinami, which they're going to lose in that affair. Just a bit of a trying to work with Rev Pro and trying to, again, because we have all these alliances, we don't really utilize them a lot as much as I would have hoped for. And just, again, our roster's just so goddamn huge, though, at the same time, so it's kind of hard to do that, but I figure that's a fun way to kind of help utilize that. And then we'll have the Monstars, Keith Lee and Donovan Dijak against Volter and Zack Sabre Jr., which Volter's going to beat Keith Lee there. Nice little tag match. As well, I'm thinking about it, I want to go ahead and pick the venue. Because, yeah, trying to think of how I should go Southern England, Northern England. Probably Southern England. So we could probably run like a London, somewhere in London, or maybe even, let's say, trying to think. I thought there was a 5,000 seater, but yeah, there's obviously Wembley, but I'm gonna be running that for this Road 2 show. Yeah, Royal Albert Hall. It's always nice to run. Cause yeah, I don't think there's anything kind of close enough to 5,000. Looks not. Looks like that's kind of our best bet. That works for me. As far as the main event for this show, I'm torn. You know, Task Force Death and Peace Love and War. This trios matchup, rather, about to say 8-man, but this trios matchup. It's a nice little matchup. Of course, the main event, you know, with Juice and Moxley, you know, being in the hardcore title matchup, and also, you know, Pac being in the co-main. They're like, this is a great call, but plus, we get to see Newcastle's own Pac getting the win. But just nice. Nice to have a UK guy get a win in the main event. 4 Horsewomen versus Triple Talent Tandem. This trios matchup, this the technical masterclass matchup. So as far as Triple Talent Tandem getting the win with Konami beating BB Crawford. So a win for the challengers there. As, yeah, we'll keep it there. Julia and Athena versus Jamie Hayter and Chris Statlander. Of course, Jamie Hayter, another English wrestler, as far as Chris Statlander getting the win over Athena in 20 minutes. The next show, actually, we're going to have Julia and Jamie Hayter in a singles matchup. So that's going to be nice to do a big-time singles women's matchup on that show. As I think we're going to put it as the co-main. I think that's what I'm feeling. I think it's going to be better, actually. Probably swap it. Yeah. But yeah, 3 tag matches in a row, and then the trios match to end it out. In the opening contest, Hook versus Herman Hurst. Of course, Hook's going to get the win, beating the Young Lion. Is, yeah, 63 for the opening contest. Hook and Hurst have great chemistry, so that worked out pretty well. Hook did really well, though, 77. Good shit. Good shit there. As the Triple Talent Tandem team beating the 4 Horsewomen. Again, it's kind of crazy. Becky Knockout Quinn doing as well as she did. Man, BB Crawford, the 49. What the fuck is going on there? I guess it was a technical masterclass matchup, but I feel like she's pretty good technically. But I'll run. As far as Io Shirai and Becky Knockout Quinn doing the heavy lifting of this one. As Konami getting the win, though, over BB Crawford. So at least the worst person in the matchup took the submission victory in this case. About that pinfall, but yeah, Chris Ridgway and Mike Bailey losing to Leono Fujinami and Taichi, but actually did pretty well for themselves. For a tour show, 63 and 58, that's not too bad. As Hashimoto with the vertical drop brainbuster over Mike Bailey in 10-15 as well, so the best guy beating the worst guy there. Well, actually, the worst guy was Leono Fujinami, but that's good stuff. That's a nice little 73 there. 76 for Athena and Julia against Statlander and Hayter. Of course, the Statlander-Hayter team with the chemistry boost to help them push them almost over the edge, but it was of a point difference between the two teams. That is not bad at all, but the big bang for Chris Statlander getting the win over Athena, and a win for the Dark Order. As at 83 for United Empire and the Monstars team, as Volter pinning Keith Lee with as far as with I'm assuming it would be with the Golden Bomb, but I forget why we called it the United Empire one. But as far as with Walter and Zack Sabre Jr., they were the better team. Makes sense for them to get the win. Well, a fun matchup though. Fun, some big motherfuckers in that match too. Then you have poor Zack Sabre Jr. in there. Main event though, in '81. Task Force Death beating Peace, Love, and War with Pac pinning Clark Connors after at the 450, but at 630 after the 450 splash. Best guy in the matchup was Pac. Really no surprise. He beats the worst guy in Clark Connors too, so that works out nicely. Not a bad little Road 2 show. Everything did pretty well, besides really the obviously Young Lion matchup, but even then, Hook did well in that matchup. It was always nice to run Royal Albert Hall. As now we go to Ireland for the next Road 2 show and the final Road 2 show before we head over to Scotland for the final show. Very, very quick tour. But, listen, there's a lot of implications for, as far as the mega groups, big show, as far as they might have the Intercontinental title and the U.S. title and the Never Openweight title going into that show. So that would be a major coup for them, but we'll see. As far as once we get through the next Road 2 show. Alrighty, so the last Road 2 show here, of course, will be in Ireland for this one. It's Yuji Nagata in the Great O'Khan, as far as backstage incident, rather, as Yuji Nagata passing on psychology tips to the Great O'Khan, and Sanada passing on psychology tips to Kenji Shiga. Good shit there. So, as far as, with this show, oh wow, only 2,000 people. Not great. I will be in Dublin, though. Not too bad. But Jamie Hayter and Julia, I really love this match. So much so, I didn't even know who to pick as a winner, because I feel like both women, they could use a win either way. Figured, hey, let's just let them go out there, work 25 minutes, 24 minutes actually to be exact, and have a bit of a barn burner out there on a Road 2 show. Dragon's Den against Shotaro Ashino and Takanori Ito. This is the tactical match for the last matchup, which Tamura and Kyle O'Reilly are going to beat Shotaro Ashino and Takanori Ito in that one. That's a nice little matchup. Lucha Brothers versus Showtime Tanaka and Tegeo Tachibana, as Tachibana going to lose for the first time in his New Japan run. Figured might as well rip this Band-Aid off very quickly, as the Lucha Brothers obviously going to be the better team, getting the win, and a little build-up before the title matchup with Phoenix and Tanaka. Gable and Guarini against Ricky Horn and Tony Florian. Obviously, Young Lions will be losing in that one. Guarini getting the win there. Then Moxley and Shooter taking on Peace, Love, and War of Juice Robinson and Alex Coughlin. Juice is going to beat Moxley's son and Shota Umino getting the win there. That'll be the co-main. And then the Trip It Down Tandem 4 Horsewomen matchup. 10-minute matchup. Basically the same type of matchup, but now adding Ashley Flair to the matchup. And again, Triple Down Tandem getting the win as Io Shirai beats Ashley Flair. Tough break for them, and I think we're going to put it smack dab in the middle as far as from that regard. And, it's pretty straightforward stuff again. Just a lot of building to that final show. And also, that's really a Jamie Hayter matchup. I think it's going to be a good match. I think it's going to be the best thing on the card. We'll see. 62, though, for Guarini and Gable, as they get the win. Obviously, the better team. But Florian and Ricky Horn actually did pretty well for themselves. With the snap pile driver from Guarini over Tony Florian. I do love that. 75 for Dragon's Den versus Suzuki-gun. As Suzuki-gun losing here. But yeah, Ashino with an 81 to more than the 86. Ito a little bit better than O'Reilly. Basically just a point or two difference here for Dragon's Den. Good matchup, though, mainly because of the excellent chemistry, I'm sure, that helped them out. But he gets the win, does tomorrow with the face lock over Takanori Ito. 74, Triple Down Tandem, and the Four Horsewomen. Io with the moonsault over Ashley Flair. Of course, Ashley Flair, wow, she even wasn't, she was not even the worst woman in the matchup. Just barely got outperformed by Konami. But Konami's not used to working in the UK, so that I would probably chalk that up to that, just not being over enough. But kind of surprised Becky knockout Quinn, also with a 69, was not better than I thought she would be. Tough break there. Then 78 for our Lucha Brothers tag matchup against Sajeo Tachibana and Showtime Tanaka, as obviously they were the better team. Showed them with a 66 at least, so I think him and Ray Fenix are going to be a good little matchup there. But yeah, the cross arm bar from Pentagon Jr. breaking the arm of Tachibana. And our co-main event in 82, Juice and Alex Coughlin, Peace, Love, and War beating the John Moxley Shota Umino team. It was close. It was close. A point difference, actually. Yeah, to be exact, a point difference. As Task Force Death, the upset, lost here. John Moxley being off his game, obviously, at the match. But, man, that main event's going to be a lot of fun, though, with Juice and Mox and the hardcore matchup. That's going to be a good one. 73 for our main event. Julia gets the win with the diving cross body. She did outperform Jamie Hayter, but yeah, I figured with a big-time singles matchup like this, figured it should be the main event, even though it got outperformed by almost everything on this match, or almost everything on this card. Still I'm pleased with it being the main event, but shout out the tag matchup with Juice and Coughlin, and Moxley and Shooter, as far as that was an 82. Didn't expect that. Figured it'd be good, didn't think it'd be that good. That is the Road 2 shows in the books. And now we go to the final show to see how the Royal Quest in Scotland plays out. As man, we've now ran Wembley. We've ran I forget where we were in Ireland. I'm sure here in Scotland we're gonna run either where the Rangers play, or where the Celtic play, but I'm assuming that's where we'll run. I don't know. Maybe there's a rugby stadium that's bigger than the football stadium, but I'm assuming that's the biggest stadium we can run in Scotland. But we'll see, though. As on to Royal Quest we go. Alrighty, so yeah, we are in a rugby stadium. I figured so. We could have ran Celtic Park, but this, as far as we could have more people in, so obviously we went with that as the BT Murrayfield Stadium here. 67,000 on hand for Royal Quest. It's Cody Amanda and Konosuke kicking off the show with a win, beating King Devitt and Shinsuke Nakamura as Umeda, pinning Devitt after the Fisherman Buster. Yeah, I mean, they were the better team, so I'm glad they got the win. Konosuke catch up in 83, 75 for Umeda. Got the show up to a strong start, so it did its job there. 77 for House of Black and Designs of Perfection. The 8-man tag steal the show matchup here, letting the junior heavyweights fly around. But what a performance, though, from the Designs of Perfection team, and the Aussies in particular, with Jude London, Paris De Silva, Logan McQueen, and Robbie Eagles. Everybody 70 and above. Great shit there. It's Robbie Eagles with the Warp 4-5 beats his former brethren, as far as with Darius Martin. As Designs of Perfection may have gotten a huge asset away from House of Black with Robbie Eagles. I mean, that is a huge get, and that adds to their powers for sure. And we'll see how the rest of them do tonight. As the next matchup, Suzuki-gun beating the Dragon's Den team. As Claudio Castagnoli beats Kyle O'Reilly with the neutralizers. That's a hell of a win for Claudio. He hasn't had a nice win like that in a hot minute. He outperformed O'Reilly too, so it's the right guy getting the win. And Ashino outperformed Heiharu Tamura. Tamura and Gable did the same, both 85. So yeah, not a bad match at all. Still a 79 though. We still haven't even hit above an 80. Well, there we go. There's an 81. For the New Japan Strong Women's Openweight Tag Team titles, as Becky Knockout Quinn beating Kairi Hoja with a knockout out, as she gets the win, beating the great team of Io Shirai and Kairi Hoja. But that's a hell of a win, though, for Becky Knockout Quinn and Toni Storm. They at least outperformed Kairi Hoja, but of course Io Shirai, best woman in the matchup, and really probably still the best woman on the roster. Incredible stuff there, as Showtime Tanaka falls short against Ray Phoenix. This is a hell of a matchup, though, for him. I mean, this is the first singles title matchup besides a junior heavyweight title matchup. Huge moment for him. Falls short here, but still, he's got a ways to go. You know, as far as this is just the tip of the iceberg for him. We'll see if he can carry on and improve and get better over time. As a 93 for the Never Openweight 6-man tag team title matchup, as the United Empire team gets the win, beating the Monstars U team. As Okan takes a burning lariat from Volter. What a fucking win there. And a hell of a team, obviously, in the United Empire. Some great shit there. As it's 93. Good shit there. Another 93. As Pac and Jay White. They have great, pretty good chemistry, actually, to be exact. But yeah, lack of psychology absolutely fucking kills me when that happens. But Jay White beats him with the Blade Runner. How about that? Retains the U.S. title. As so far we haven't seen a title change. We'll see if maybe that will be the case in our main event. Does Juice beat Jon Moxley? He does not, and the match stunk. Just great. As, boy, oh boy, did we have the wrong thing go on last. As Moxley with the Death Rider, though, in the hardcore title matchup, let's just say it's off the apron, through some tables, pins him. 1, 2, 3. Big win. But I also want to see them kind of brawl throughout the stadium a little bit. A bit of a stadium stampede moment, with some of these guys, with being able to work throughout the stadium, because again, it could be ended anywhere, anytime. So that'd be fun, though, to really go through the BT Murrayfield Stadium, but a lot of fucking people to go through and whatnot, so that could be a bit tiring on the talent to have to work through and fight through the crowd to get to your spots and whatnot. But it sucks about the main event not delivering at all. We definitely underestimated that. For Design's Perfection, they have the first post-show press conference. Very, very pleased with themselves, and more talking about Robbie Eagles, how he knows that he made the right decision, that he's on the right side of history, joining the winning side and joining his Australian brethren, and he proved it tonight by beating House of Black, and knows that it's only up from here for Design's Perfection. He knows Sonata's going to bring home the gold in just a few weeks. As far as in the next post-show press conference is for Toni Storm and Becky Naoko Quinn, mainly for Becky, more of the questions for her as being back home, to feel like as far as being back. She went of course in England to Ireland and now over here to Scotland. Talks about, and even Toni Storm too. Obviously she's a Kiwi, but she worked a lot in the UK and really I would say it's her second home, if you will, as far as England. But so it's nice to talk to the girls about being back home, how much it's like, because obviously they're not only home once a year, because we run the Royal Quest show, but as far as just talking about them, as far as how no one really gave them a chance throughout the tour. They were losing to Triple Talent Tandem. They knew tonight that was going to be their night, and they got the job done, beating the Triple Talent Tandem team. A nice win, though, for them. And then we have Jay White, Juice, and Showtime Tanaka ending it out as a defeated Showtime Tanaka, carrying Juice Robinson in the back. And Jay White, though, was happy about it, because obviously he got the job done. He says, yeah, maybe some other guys didn't get the job done, but I knew I could beat Pac for this U.S. title. This U.S. title's not going anywhere. We know Sonata's going to do the job against Tyler Black. He's going to beat him. Not that job. He's going to get the job done by beating him. But for him, he knew that this U.S. title, to be able to potentially have that asset with Sonata's new company, he knew that Sonata would be very, very upset if he ended up losing that belt to Pac. So, for really Designers for Perfection in this mega group here, they're using these belts almost like, I wouldn't say it's negotiating points or anything like that, but they just know that if they do in fact lead out next to this, they can take these belts with them. So that kind of idea of really feeling like we're in a war, with New Japan in this mega group, it's really going to come down to who has the most belts, to where they could feel like they could start their promotion or keep their promotion, really for New Japan, to keep New Japan the flag flying for another year, because they're almost coming up. I mean, obviously 1972 is when this all started. It's been a while. For old New Japan, but maybe something new and fresh could be exciting for the scene of Japan, sort of from a promotional standpoint. But we will find out if, in fact, the rightful champion will be crowned in our next episode, because that is the next show, is that first time ever, a non-New Japan event as far as Fear on the Save, as it is a Sonata wrestling production, and he will put the card together, he will assign the referees, he will come down to what the fucking canvas is going to look like, what the ropes are going to look like. This is his vision. And he will hopefully construct his vision to end in a very much a fever-like dream by beating Tyler Black and becoming the IWGP Heavyweight Champion once again. And for Tyler Black, he's got a lot on his shoulders. He has the fate of New Japan on his shoulders. It's not good. And also, we'll get to see who is, in fact, the new president. As far as that will be revealed in our main event of our next episode. As, yeah, a lot of just building up to the next show here with this Royal Quest episode. But we got to see some good matches, especially the Jay White Pac match and even this Never Open 6-man tag team title match. And plus, we get to go overseas and get to work a area that we don't really get to work a whole lot. So that's always nice too. Definitely want to put over Pac and Jay White, and yeah, we'll put over Zack Sabre Jr. Another guy that I'm sure is great to be back home for a week or so. Good shit there. As yeah, we will catch you guys next time, and we will see the fate of New Japan, how it will go. Will it still be the forefront of Japanese pro wrestling, or will this new breath of fresh air for Japanese pro wrestling, and this new vision and this new idea for Sonata and company to lead into the 2030s? We will find out.